3 turnovers he poached.
Look, he's incredible. Week in, week out for La Rochelle as well. Champions Cup, top 14 and at international level. He's an absolute block to shift as well.
Yeah, okay.
So comfortable in the
so
jackal position.
Control, but just a penalty here.
Valentini just forced to go off his feet.
Just wait for, make sure he's okay.
In an effort to get that clear out. Great enterprise by Australia, though, the creativity to make that bust up. This near side.
Careful.
Do some damage, but
no,
France
out of control. Hit him in the head. Just a penalty. Just a penalty.
doing well, getting there in numbers to the breakdown. Hampering those collisions and getting themselves out of jail.
Mathieu Jalibert looked pretty composed, did you feel, last week against Fiji? Dante and Marchand between them. Dante got the shoulder to the head. That was what the penalty was for. Marchand, I think, had done enough work in there anyway. It's Willems to Dupont. Low, flat line out, Dante. He's a really good ball carrier in midfield, really straight and hard. Dupont, Jalibert, and it's Damien Penaud. Ramos with a pass, Villiers inside. The two wingers working together. Villiers is penalised for the knock-on, but was he caught early? Yeah, it looked like it from here, but he was pulled off the ball.
Tackled a little bit early. Just see the danger as well. Jonathan Dante with the turnover. Smashing over the gain line. Numbers created. Again, the overlap exploited. Damien Penaud.
Yeah.
Tupou. Man and ball a little bit early.
Time off, please. Tom.
Taniela Tupou with the early tackle.
I'm finding it hard to hear you, mate.
Yes, Luke.
I just want to make sure it's a penalty only.
Okay.
It's a clear tackle off the ball.
We'll show you the wide angle for the cover situation.
TMO is Tom Foley. They're looking at the cover situation.
Here we are, here's the wide
Whenever
angle.
those words are used, you're thinking penalty try. But there's plenty of Australian defenders. Vunivola is in the full-back slot there,
well,
the opposite winger. So
nothing
yeah,
ball,
just a
please.
penalty. You would think that was the right decision.
Right on the 22, Luke.
Suleiman penalty.
World Cup 12 days away here, France, New Zealand. New Zealand beaten 35-7 by South Africa at Twickenham yesterday, conceded 11 penalties in the first half. The Box stole 5 lineouts, and that was a record defeat in New Zealand's history. News that will have reverberated around all the rugby households in France, because the All Blacks' next game is right here. Julien Marchand to Flamand, Dupont, Dante! Sensational! That's what Dante does. Another assist from Dupont. There were so many in the Six Nations. And whenever you have a destroyer in midfield like Dante, you can do things like that.
Great starter play, the launch. Dante, they've obviously targeted Carter Gordon, the first 2 starter plays straight through the 10. Jonathan Dante providing the power over that gain line and over the whitewash. Straight off the training field, really well worked by France. And their first try.
Dante dainty, he is not. Monsieur Fabien is unmoved. Celebrations from the manager. Rafa Benitez, Fabien Gaultier, one of the coolest men on the globe, as we all know. And here's one of the best goal kickers on the globe at the moment, Thomas Ramos, 34 from 39 this year. And if this goes over, he will pass 100 points for 2023, which is a decent old return. 3 tries and a drop goal in there as well.
Also simple. The first 2 starter plays, you can see exactly what they've worked, what they've targeted during this week in the build-up. It's the 10 channel. Gordon slipping off that tackle. Dante too physical.
Little bit Springbokian in its approach there. If you watched South Africa's suffocating and smashing of New Zealand, in London yesterday. But for some great New Zealand defence, it could have been 50. New Zealand were kept to nil until the last 10 minutes. Taken by Aldrit, top carrier for France in the last 12 months, averages about 14 a match. And now Willems, a key cog, a linchpin in this French pack.
France
up against Will Skelton today. And Dupont charged down by that man, Will Skelton, and that in itself is a meeting of poundage, Skelton and Willems.
What a clash that will be. Well through as well by Will Skelton, the 87th Wallaby captain, cult hero now at La Rochelle.
Yeah, when he arrived at La Rochelle, I think he had an interesting conversation in the office with Ronan O'Gara, who made it very clear to him that he had to up the work rate and trim down.
I asked you twice, nobody moved. Space.
A little bit disjointed by Australia. They're not reacting to the demands of the referee, getting the numbers right. An easy let off. All that pressure comes to nothing. France allowed to exit.
36.7 metre kick, which is excellent. The lineup goes to the Wallabies. Dave Porecki. Oh, just managing to get his hands on it there is Tom Hooper. No Michael Hooper in the 33. Tom Hooper is a good line-out option, 6'6", 19 stone. Valentini. Here's Tate McDermott. Back to Carter.
Hold in front.
Ramos, much better this time, gets the ball away brilliantly to Damien Penaud. 27 tries he has for France.
No, but more. No, needs the ball. Obstruction. On number 14, the winger.
Obstruction on Nawange Niatasi. So at the moment, certainly France not getting away with their subterfuge. Dupont caught offside and a little shoulder dip going in there from what the referee was saying. Ramos takes the ball. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, Danty just, yeah, it's a nudge, isn't it? It's an undainty Danty nudge. Australia appointed through Eddie Jones recently a Mall consultant who came from Castra. Is it going to work out for them? Here's Porecki.
Advantage offside.
Marchand goes in with a tackle and it's offside advantage against the French here.
Advantage Australia.
Porecki latches on. Will Skelton. Oh, and he's dropped it. The big man's dropped it as he headed for the whitewash. But they will come back for that penalty. And strain being put on this French defence.
Just not getting behind the back foot. Julien Marchand, so physical in that area. Just didn't get his timing right. Another chance for Australia.
Australia, stay 10, please.
Porecki. Up goes Hooper again. They're using
his
height. It's another advantage for a collapse.
Number 5.
Paul Willems is penalised. Here's Carter Gordon. Now there is space here for Nawangi Natasi. What happened to the French defence there? It was completely narrowed and sucked in. And in the end, really, for a man of his pace, it was a stroll to the corner.
It's not often we see France's blitz defensive line beaten, but there, the ball taken really well. France opting to contest. That means there's one man less to defend that maul. Ball is good. You could just see, actually, it's Damien Penaud's bitten in on the wrong man. That's created the 2-on-1 on the outside, perfectly executed and finished by the Aussie backline.
Looking at the front.
But that won't please Sean Edwards.
No, Nawangi Tinoase, the youngster, 22 tries in Super Rugby. In total, 8 tries this year. of Fijian blood. First blood for Australia.
It was Michael Hooper that said he's the best thing he's seen since Izzy Folau as well.
Carter Gordon missed the first one, not from 2.
You just see Damien Penaud jumping up with Mathieu Jalibert, both on the same man. That creates the overlap on the outside channel, and the finish is absolutely superb.
Yeah, there's a long discussion there with Penaud and Ramos to, I suppose, try to decipher what exactly went wrong there and make sure it doesn't happen again. Sean Edwards will be spitting bullets up in the coaching box. Good challenge at the restart. It was actually Penaud who got in there in the end. There's a knock-on advantage to France. These sides have met twice in the World Cup, by the way, both in the knockout stages. The final in 1999, when the Wallabies won 35-12 in Cardiff, and 1987 in the semis when France won 30-24 in Sydney. And as Johnny mentioned there, France have won 21 of the last 23 tests. The losses to Scotland, just one here, and that was to the Scots and Ireland in Dublin, both in the Six Nations, and they've scored over 30 points in their last 7 home games. So you could say they're running into form at just the right time. That's maybe an understatement.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Nice platform for Dupont. It's Penaud off that wing, looking to add try number 28 to his total. Here's Aldric Dupont. Beautiful delay. Jalibert, if the hands are good here. Oh, Gabien Villiers is tackled into touch. It took a pincer movement from the Australians to get him there.
Lovely offload by Aldred as well. The double pump on the ball by Antoine Dupont just checks the Australian defence, but the cover tackle, the scramble, absolutely magnificent. There are numbers. Jalibert over the whitewash. Villiers, excuse me.
It's Arnold. Richie and Rory, the twin brothers. And this is Richie, made his debut for Australia, 33 years of age. Carter Gordon under pressure from Dupont, coming through quickly. And yeah, they're keeping a close press on everything Carter Gordon does.
You can understand why. The only 10 in the squad, still young and test match experience. Coming in to lead this squad is a big ask on his young shoulders.
France averaging 3.5 tries per game in the last 11 appearances. And they've now won 13 in a row at home, which is an all-time record. Previous was 11 in the mid-70s.
Number 1 is receiver.
And Jean-Pierre Rive was in the side, amongst other great French legends. Marchand, little dummy throw there, yeah, and he's been caught by Luke Pearce, who says, well, I couldn't hear what the call was. Well, that's not the referee's fault.
It also comes down to the noise in the stadium. Having played, he is so noisy, even down on the touchline.
Must be hard to hear, though, with cauliflower ears, is it? Is it harder?
You see the check, Olivon going for the audible, going for the check option, but Julien Marchand just not getting the communication.
He hasn't got cauliflower ears. Graham Roundtree's got the best cauliflower ears of any player, ex-player. He's done it again, surely? He has. It's another dummy throw.
And this is very uncharacteristic. We haven't seen this from the French side. Under Karim Ghazal, one of the best lineouts in the Six Nations, wider competition. Regularly above 90%.
Off they go. Quickly through Angus Bell.
Tackle! Plaquel! Merci.
Here is McDermott switching it to the blind side. Carter Gordon, lovely hands. Vunivalu gets outside Gabien Villiers. Tate McDermott, I think he was trying to slip offload to Carter Gordon there, but There's no doubt about it. This Australian side is looking lively in attack.
Really nice piece of play. Again, from nothing, a free kick option. Big ball carry, but managing to work hands. The footwork again to beat Villiers. Brush him off. The offload nearly sticks. France breathe a sigh of relief. Not over yet, though. They just misfired the last two lineouts. This one under much more pressure now. Gabin Villiers, I think, milking the fend, trying to get that checked by the TMO, but it looked good in real-time play.
Yeah, he was tailing an elbow to the throat, but play
just France, restez là pour 2 secondes.
Goes on or does it. He's still not happy, Gabin. Okay. Now, Julien Marchand cannot afford another stutter. That's a smoother throw.
Stay on side, lads. Okay, France, Julien, stay bound and on
bridges
your feet.
Over the ball.
On your feet.
Try score against Fiji in Nantes. Dupont, who is sensational, Johnny, off both feet.
Monsieur,
it is crazy.
If you want to do the long train, you must stay on your feet to stay bound.
Coming together, two massive athletes. Greg Aldrit hits the deck, and as you mentioned, Dupont, the ability to clear off both feet.
Here's Forchetti. Good tackle by Gregory Gross. And here comes Willy Vunivalu again, who's causing a few problems on that right-hand side. Nwangi Nitawasi's playing on the left wing despite wearing 14. Vunivalu on the right wing wearing 11. There is McDermott again. They go down that blind side, and that's where they're trying to foster, try to feed off this French defence. Tani Tupou. McDermott. Carter Gordon into the space for Pataya. That's great hands by Ramos, and he wants to go quickly, and here is Fiku. 51st cap in the centre. Nwangi Nitawasi. He destroyed Wales almost on his own at times last November. The man who scored the Australians' only try. Here's Olivon.
No.
Danty goes into scrum half. Winnie Antonio, 145 kilograms. There's plenty of South Sea Island blood out there today on both sides. And Antonio, the blood is Samoan originally. Here's Dupont. So much height on that. Carter Gordon takes it, times it well. They hold on to the ball. It's gone to the French side. Antonio tackled completely offside. With Australia, now Villiers tries to stand up Valentini and Hooper. He's done pretty well. That's brilliant by Villiers. They're going to stay in for Gael Fiku, not quite. He is a real whippersnapper, Gabin Villiers.
The initial take very good in there, but it's Jonathan Danty again. What a start to the game he's had. Another jackal. The turnover is good. That creates the unstructured play. Gabin Villiers, nothing on but the ability to stand up his man, fend, get his foot to ball as well, create the opportunity for Gael Fiku to chase.
Hooper, good take of the line out, and here's Valentini.
France en jeu. Okay, use it, please.
Tate McDermott was captain of the Wallabies against New Zealand earlier this month, and gets a good clearing kick away. Last met in November, and Australia were beaten 30-29. They missed 28 tackles. They lost 3 lineouts. It took a try from Damien Penaud in the 76th minute to put the Australians away. It really was a thriller, and as Johnny was saying earlier, so many of recent encounters between these two sides have been decided by 3 points or fewer. Marchand, the yips have gone. They hope. Flamand, Fiku, Danty.
Tackle!
Forchetti is on the ball, he's off the ball, it's Dupont. Up comes that Australian defence, which was pretty horrific in their first 2 games under Eddie Jones. Brett Hodgson is the defence coach, and they look so soft and so disorganised. And Eddie Jones and his coaching team beginning to put things together, it would seem. Here's Antonio Aldrit. Good run by Aldrit. You can see why they get the ball to him as often as they can. 74 carries this year and added a few tonight to that total. Flamand.
Just high.
It's going to be a penalty.
I think you're okay back here.
High tackle and kickable position for Thomas Ramos.
A bit of a nothing penalty to give away as well. France unstructured, just coming off 9.
Just slightly high. Quanto?
I think it was Richie Arnold, just a little bit of a swinging arm on Villiers. Just creeping high. Such a big man though, so hard for him to drop and get down to the correct height.
You see, last week, the Fiji game, the Fijians like to be known now as Fiji Water, Flying Fijians. The Wallabies would like to be known as the Cadbury Wallabies. So what about Scotland? Bob Servant's Dundee Burgers Scotland. Could happen. Could happen.
Stranger things have happened.
Could happen. That's the way the game's going. France are very much France at the moment. And Thomas Ramos, 20 points against Australia in that last meeting. Straight down to pick up the tee. Does not miss many. Melvin Jaminet was similar last week, just missed the one kick from 8, which hit the post. So they have an array of top class, you could say world class goal kickers in this squad.
It just shows how precious they are as well. Tate McDermott with the 2 misses already. And as you mentioned, Foley, James O'Connor with the A squad, Quade Cooper at home as well.
Yes, the rhyming couplet have been left out of the Australian squad. Cooper and Hooper, much to the surprise of many. Although Quade Cooper now is 35. Here's Flamand. And Tupou. Nah, he's off his feet, I think. Is he? Yeah, he's off his feet.
Release 3 and off feet.
Yeah, discipline's been a real issue for this Australian side over the past couple of seasons. The cards have really stacked up, but there you go from a swinging arm, a penalty, 3 points, to off feet in opposition 22. No need to give away that penalty. But you cough up straight away 50 metres of field position. You're back defending just outside your 22. Making it really difficult for themselves. The initial intention is good. You can just see that knee is on the deck. There, all he needs to do is leave the ball. He decides to take it with him anyway.
Yeah, just what you were saying there, Johnny. Here's a stat for you. Australia in their last 38 matches since the World Cup in Japan, 33 yellow cards and 5 red. Here's Fiku.
Tackle!
Can the Australians keep their discipline in this game, keep 15 men on the field? New Zealand couldn't manage it yesterday. Scott Barrett picked up a red card for a second yellow. At one time, New Zealand had 13 men on the pitch, which didn't help. Discipline in this World Cup is going to be absolutely critical.
Tom Hooper pinged again. The initial collision very good, but just not rolling away quick enough for Luke Pearce. 3 pens, quick succession. Another 3 points offered up to Thomas Ramos. Just these moments, as a skipper, Will Skelton just saying, boys, heads, calm, discipline.
Will Skelton screaming at his troops. His first time as the Australian captain. Actually scored a try against France on his debut. That was 9 years ago, but Skelton went 6 years without a cap until he was brought back into Wallaby gold. Should be straightforward. Little chip from Ramos. So opens the gap to 13-5. Yeah, last 6 Australia-France games, the gap has been 3 points or fewer. So in the context of these games, that's a massive lead. A long way to go, closing in on the half hour. Aldrin taken out in the air, and that's another penalty against Australia. It's Nwangi Nitawasi who goes in and under, and the penalties are mounting and in succession.
We're just on penalty only. So we're on penalty only.
Death, taxes,
on penalty day.
and Australian cards. Three certainties in life.
Let's thank committee, probably.
I see Steve Hansen's joined up with the Wallabies to assist Eddie Jones. What about that? Apparently almost had his citizenship revoked in New Zealand by Chris Hipkins, the Prime Minister.
Okay.
As an Ulsterman, that's a bit like the Pope taking a sermon in Ian Paisley's church. Seriously. Not seriously. But it's that kind of parallel. Dane Cole said he was gobsmacked to hear the New Zealand World Cup winning coach was in the Wallaby camp, but it's true, folks. Willems up. And it's off the feet.
Number 7 off feet.
As opposed
Stop the contest from Australia.
Wright winning the turnover. He was in digging for it.
Halfway small.
Now the first real chance in 10 minutes to the Wallabies. Can they exert themselves? Can they apply some pressure in this French 22? Come away with points. They've just coughed up 6 extremely easy points.
Dave Parecki. And it's Hooper again, who's been a real target man in that line-out, but they've knocked the ball on. Scruffy work in the line-out, which will frustrate them all. It's not the first time they've got into the French 22, and it hasn't worked out for them.
It's a free ball at the front as well. It's just the transition, the ripper coming in. A half second late, the ball dropped. Schoolboy error, especially at this level.
You mentioned the Australian A match last night against Portugal, and Bernard Foley being on the side, James O'Connor, Pete Samu, Ned Hannigan, Hunter Paisami, all players who might have played in this match today. But by all accounts, they struggled to put the Portuguese away. It wasn't a great performance.
Crouch! Fine! Set!
Dupont, right foot this time.
Advantage over anyway.
Big lunge. Nwangi Nitawasi. Ooh, Andrew Kellaway was very close to knocking that on. There has been some drill. Kellaway goes. Great try-scoring record Kellaway has at all levels. Here's McDermott. Vunivalu. And McDermott to Arnold. Did he get that ball slipped away to Valentini? He did.
First by Blue, then by Australia. No worries, I'll come that side now.
Richie Arnold, third test start. 5 seasons at Toulouse. Brother Rory,
so yes, your
brother Rory. Andrew Kellaway.
Yeah, you may have a point.
12 tries at the Junior World Championships, which is a record, and scored a hat-trick against Argentina 2 years ago. Kellaway scores tries at almost 1 game and 2 for the Wallabies. 11 tries in 24. So he
Crouch!
Good strike runner. Can play around the back line.
Fine! Set!
Big scrummage coming in from the Wallabies. Washing out that French scrum. Vunivalu gets another opportunity to show that footwork and pace. McDermott, they're on the front foot, they're on the back foot. Just takes one poor pass. The advantage going to the Australians' way, though. And they get the penalty.
Advantage coming. Scrum beat him.
Very impressive at scrum time. Something we haven't seen inflicted that type of misery, that type of pressure on this French pack. Great effort on the tight head side by Tupou. Up against JB Gros.
Well, Antonio seemed to be doing his job
on the back of the scrum,
on the tight head side. With Vuni Vunivalu, every time he's got the ball, things seem to happen.
There's a couple of key differences. Cyril Bay not being part of this French pack. He's a world-class scrummager at loosehead. He's out for a few more weeks. Also, Romain Ntamack, we saw that defensive frailty with Jalibert coming up. The miscommunication, the try. Jalibert not seen as efficient a defender as Ntamack. So a couple of things have changed for this French side, but they'll have to adapt. There will be injuries during the competition.
Australia have lost all 4 under Eddie Jones. 3 in the Rugby Championship. 43-12, then South Africa 34-31 at home to the Pumas, 38-7 again at home to New Zealand. And in the second Bledisloe Cup match, New Zealand came back from a big deficit to nip it into Dunedin, and this is becoming a real problem for Australia, not just here in this warm-up game, but thinking ahead to the World Cup. Goal kicking.
Oui. Il y a un problème? Oui. Il y a un goal?
Big let off for the French. Again, not in a difficult position by any stretch.
Well, the ball being allowed a lot of time to squirrel about on the damp turf here. Here's Jalibert. He's keeping his eyes on this. Oh, and
number 9 crossing.
Oh, crossing. Number 9,
blatant.
very well. But foul play could override this if that's taken out in the air.
That collision was caused by number 9 making an obstruction. The French guy couldn't get near him. He then lands here.
I mean, he's come from a mile away to cut
obstruction.
Off that
number 9.
Kick chase by Mathieu Jalibert. Really clear and poor image to show to Luke Pearce.
Merci.
And actually, the foul play is created by Naim coming across, banging into Jalibert, and that causes the foul play.
Absolutely.
Tate.
Absolutely. Great spot.
Well, he needs to be careful, mate. He needs to be careful.
There is nothing in the world quite like a Parisian Stade de France crowd in full thunderous voice, is there? So the French converting all of their kicks so far, Australia missing all of theirs. Ramos, another excellent clearing kick, and France are finding big meters with their clearance kick, as they did through the Six Nations.
Yeah, strange restart again. The kick by McDermott. Too long to have a contest. Anyone chase that ball. Just been pinged back to their own 40. Decent clearance kick again by France.
4-man line out. Richie Arnold, Hooper, Skelton. Bell is the lifter of Arnold, and quickly out of that line out was Paul Willems there to hit Tate McDermott.
Merci.
Back to Carter Gordon outside the 22, and again Jalibert up very quickly there to put Gordon under as much pressure as he possibly can. Vuni Vunivalu's having a cracking game. Kellaway's chip through, Villiers goes to turf, and away comes Penno. He can create magic. Didn't get the bounce, Vuni Vunivalu. Nwangi Niatawasi comes off Penno and covered the ground well to get back into that right wing position from the centre of the field. Haven't seen too much of Angus Bell's carrying so far. Nwangi Niatawasi almost away with the sidestep. Here is McDermott. There's space on the outside again. Gabien Villiers has to track back. He's there and he's in trouble. And he's caught by Kellaway. And Pataya nearly gets there. McWright tries to roll over. Villiers held him up though. It's definitely off the ground. Definitely.
Big moment for France. You can see the intention from Australia now though, ball in hand, looking to find that second line, find space in behind with these little attacking kicks. First the chip and chase. And then the grubber cross field, but France get across in numbers to salvage that play.
Luke, I'm about to show you foul play by Australia 15.
Foul play call.
The player is slipping, but he does make head contact. It's just okay, I'm just going to play you the best angle now.
Let me see.
It's on blue 11.
This might be a penalty to France here, because I think your 15 just hit somebody in the head just back here. But it's just a penalty, okay? I think we're going to see it in a second.
Just going to check it here. It's Kellaway. Yeah, he hits Villiers on the jaw with a shoulder.
Just a penalty at the moment, Luke. Low danger and a slip for me.
Yeah, Villiers going down fast.
Yeah, he's falling to the ground, isn't he? That back leg is slipping, isn't it?
There's a slip, yeah, but there is head contact.
It's just a penalty, mate. His back leg is slipping away. Hein? Non, pour moi, parce que le pied is falling. Oh, yeah.
Yep, 5 metres.
Over on the contact here. Merci.
Andrew Kellaway knows all about head injuries. He broke his throat. One of the nastiest injuries I've heard about is epiglottis or his larynx, that area. He was out for a long time. Is the throat part of the head? Johnny Beattie hasn't a clue. No medical qualifications at all. And clearly I haven't either. Here's Hollyball. Julien Marchand, Toulouse man, fellow Toulouse man behind him, winners of the top 14 this season. And they beat La Rochelle in the final, a very late try by Romain Intimac. And the maul has Australia.
The maul is well defended until these guys collapse it.
There's also a problem for the elastic on somebody's shorts. Not quite sure who
collapse
that
the ball.
was.
Collapse the ball, Australia.
Penalty it is.
Well defended until he collapses.
And he's got a fair point, Luke Pearce as well. It was well defended. Richie Arnold, Will Skelton getting their hands on the ball. If they stayed in that position and it went to deck, there'd been a turnover, but just collapsing illegally. Worked by Skelton to weave through, get hold of Marshall and get hold of Dupont. The deemed to have brought that down, to have tackled it down in effect. That's the penalty. Another one conceded by Australia.
Répétez, s'il vous plaît. Yeah, merci, c'est 40 minutes.
Can they get a try before half-time? Up goes Olivon again, assisted by Flamand. Buttocks exposed 1 minute. Line out lifter the next. Panoply of skills, Flamand. Here is Dante, already a try to his name. And he makes an impression on that Australian defence. Dupont is hounded and he's caught. Good work again by Vunivalu, who's had an exceptional
under pressure,
first half in
entry
attack
and
and defence.
Half-time.
It was Dupont clutching something. All of France holds a breath. Their mercurial former world player, European and top 14 player of the year.
Yeah. Oui,
2 million people booking train tickets to Lourdes instantly. And play goes on.
Okay.
Australia, will they get a try before half-time or some points to add to that total?
To see catching that trail leg, you're right, the entirety of France. Holds his breath.
He seems to be okay, Dupont. But that's not straight. It's not straight. We've had line-out yips from Marchand in the first half. And they're not straight from the Australians.
Play the scrum. Yeah.
And
you have to complete it. Come on, let's go.
You cannot finish a half on an uncompleted scrummage. Luke Pearce reminding a few players who looked slightly bemused.
Let's go.
Australia winning just 5 of their last 21 test matches, a poor return.
Fine.
But they do lead in Paris in the last 9 matches, 5 wins to 4. France, they begin their World Cup against the All Blacks. Then it's Uruguay, Namibia and Italy. France will move around the country. Travelling road show during the pool stages.
Julian,
games
break
in
foot, please.
Paris, Lille, Marseille and Lyon.
Let's go.
That record of Australia's, it's even worse than it appears apparently at first vision. Just 1 of their last 8 they've won, and that was against Wales in Cardiff. And really they should have lost that match. They were well behind. It was a great comeback, but Wales had them. And that run of Australia includes a defeat to Italy by 1 point. When Ben Donaldson, who's on the bench today, had a last-minute kick to beat the Italians. But lose they did. Eddie Jones has said at one point that he thinks Australia are close to being a Tier 2 side, but Eddie Jones says interesting things. Another good scrummage, though, from the Australians, Johnny.
Monumental. That is a big shove. And another chance. What will they do before half-time?
7. Hey, I got him. Answer. Winning. Mate, I suggest
Tension's
you don't
running
do that.
high a little bit. We need Antonio on this side, absolutely.
No. I just suggest you don't do
Ousted
it.
by Angus Bell.
Okay, number 3 beaten on retreat.
It's not expected of Angus Bell at loose head, not just as a ball carrier, but as a scrummaging prop as well. Made his debut for Australia as a teenager, remarkably, just 19 against South Africa. So clearly not intimidated. And Sean Edwards will be addressing his side at half-time, questioning what happened for that Nwanga Niatawasi try. Kareki, Hooper.
Move! No legs!
McDermott. Here is goal. Kellaway's knocked it on. And that will be half-time at last. After 45 minutes and 30 seconds. Frustration for Eddie Jones at the end because Nwanga Niatawasi, if they'd managed to move the ball smoothly through the hands of Kellaway, he may have had an opportunity for a late Wallabies try. But it's France in command, kicking all their goals. Australia missing all theirs. France 16, Australia 5.
Advantage, collapse. Number 5. Advantage, collapse. Number 5. Advantage, collapse. Number 5. Advantage, collapse. Number 5. Advantage, collapse. Number 5. Advantage, collapse. Number 5.
Well, it isn't the game of the century, but we've seen a few sprinkles and sparkles. The match, though, needs some sort of magical ignition or ejection. Australia could do with landing a goal kick. Thomas Ramos is simply a points machine. He's kicking on a repeat cycle. Aussie scrum's been good, glimpses of glitter, two sides who want the Rugby World Cup to start. Johnny Beattie, or can your attitude simply not be that one?
It can't be. It can't be, because everyone knows if you're in that frame of mind, you're thinking about injuries, and you go in at 50%, that's when injuries happen. So these boys, absolutely everything into the performance, pushing, performing as a team, performing as an individual, building their own performance, and then peaking come that opening game in 2 weeks' time.
So what's been the good, the bad, and the ugly in the first half?
I think for Australia, if you look at the possession stats, 65% possession, only coming away with 5 points. A few missed kicks, they'll be disappointed. They fired one shot, they come away with one very well-worked try. Their scrum has been imposing and caused France real difficulty. It's just their discipline, simple penalties, coughing things up, field position, allowing pot shots at goal for Thomas Ramos, who's lethal. But there hasn't been too much multi-phase, not too much to really drool about.
Time on, please.
Hopefully more to come in the second period.
Mathieu Jalibert. Final 40 minutes of international rugby before the World Cup begins. Two Australian wingers between them in the first half.
Onside, please.
Managed to gather a total of over 150 metres between them. So
no
when the ball has got to those two gentlemen, they've looked pretty good. And it's back to Kellaway, the Australian fullback who clears effectively. Of course, the replacements will start to come on in the second half. And I noticed yesterday South Africa had a 7-1 split on the bench. 7 forwards, 1 back. Cobus Reinach.
I reckon if they could get 8 on the bench, they'd go for it, the Sappers. Clear intentions of how they want to play the game. Absolutely ruthless at Twickenham.
Flamand, Gross, and now Aldrit. Dupont. And again, Jalibert to Danty. When he cuts that little angle against the grain, he seems to make an impact. That's got to be a high tackle around the neck of Ficou. Now here's Danty. Can he deliver the right sort of pass? Should Penaud have stayed wide?
Reste advantage, France.
Dupont on this advantage, remember.
No.
Another pen, I think it was Pataya. Which they did well getting through their defensive sets, not cracking. Meeting France on the gain line, just riding a little bit high with that last effort.
The player is on his knees, but he's still around his neck.
Take a goal for Thomas Ramos. And here's Ficou. It is Pataya. No, it's Forketti. Forketti's caught him around the neck there. But yeah, it's a penalty. And you talked about the points and loss of points in that first half. Thomas Ramos, 11 points from the boot. But Gordon missed 8 points.
And crucial. I mean, you look at that difference. That would have been going into the half at 16-13 is a completely different complexion to the game.
This man has actually started a top 14 final in the number 10 shirt. So with the loss of Romain Intimac, does he come into that equation then?
He does. His polyvalence, that absolutely counts. It's a big reason that's counted against Brice Dulin, one of the former fullbacks in France, another Champions Cup winner. Thomas Ramos, goal kicker.
Never misses, Ramos. Never misses, ever.
The fact that he can flick into that 10 jersey. You've also got Melvin Jamini on the bench, who plays wing and fullback. It's one of the longest and most accurate kicks in world rugby.
Well, that's a brain fizzle, isn't it?
Here it comes.
From Ramos, who's normally
you're good.
So accurate, deadly accurate. Carter Gordon. Really is a spectacular mullet that he has. Taken by Olivon, and a good carry. Landed and set off in a sprint. Jalibert to Figu. Not a great pass from Jalibert. It sort of hung in the air, welcoming the Australians onto it. And they've won a penalty as a result. Just shows you at this level, doesn't take very much.
Number 4, play the ball in front. Au jeu 4.
Third consecutive start for the out half, Carter Gordon. He's 22 years of age, and his kicking percentage going into this match was 71%.
7.
Not helped by his misses today.
7, number 9.
Vunivalu again, causing the turnover. He has been superb in the first period.
Porecki and Hooper again, the target.
More. Okay, 1, stop, 9. 9, take, you've had 1.
Palatini smuggles the ball back to McDermott. Carter Gordon. Bataya, there's an opportunity here. Kellaway tries to get outside Peno, who does a wrestling roll of a tackle and tries another one. Slightly unconventional, but does the job. And Fiku, he was so close to getting on that ball. Here's Taniela Tupou. He's over 21 stones and he's dynamic as well. And yet again, it's down that big blind side that Australia go. An area of the field they've tried to explore on a number of occasions in this game, and Skelton runs over the top of Olivon, and France turn it over brilliantly.
Onside! Onside, Will. Stay, please. Alors, France, Jolin, on your feature. No.
And we talked about this in the Fiji game, Johnny, and international rugby these days, if you don't clear out within milliseconds, you get turned over. Nwangi Niatawasi. Oh, great offload. And then Pataya into the space. Villiers is back there. No Australians. Inside Villiers. Doesn't want to give away the goal line dropout. Off goes the electric matchstick.
Not yet, he's on his feet.
Willems up. They might just think about moving this here. Peno on the wing, Vunivalu is there. Peno skipping and skating. Oh, jeepers creepers. You don't want to get into the eye line of Taniela Tupou too often. And it's given Australia an opportunity. Marchand tries to go in to claim the ball as Forchetti rolls towards the line, and he rolls a little bit too far.
Yeah.
I don't think Thomas Ramos appreciated either of those balls in his 22. Wasn't expecting the ball to go wide, and second one, man and ball with Tupou, which leads to the counter-rock and the turnover. France going a little bit off script as well. We're used to seeing one phase reset and clearing their lines, but they're opting to run out from deep. Mathieu Jalibert backing his backline. Coming unstuck, another opportunity now for Australia.
4, 5, France. Front 5.
It's the vision from the referee cam being deployed in the some of these summer series games. And on comes 5 French replacements at once. They can't do what the Boks do and bring on 7 forwards at once. Cameron Walkie is there, Pieter Maivaka, Aldegheri, the tight head, Sebastian Toife-Fanua. Johnny, he's not in the 33 for the World Cup.
Front pod, please, Craig.
He's not, he's part of the backup squad. And not widely recognised as a big scrummager either, so a big test for him.
Arnold, now can Australia get their maul motoring here? Both Toife-Fanua is on the field, the brothers, Romain and Sebastian, second row and front row. McDermott, he's got the Marshmallow Man, if you remember him from the Ghostbusters, except Skelton's bigger and more muscular, I suggest. Here's Angus Bell, runs through Gregory Aldrete, and certainly gets past him. McDermott.
Enjeu France, enjeu!
Sebastian Toife-Fanua. Valentini, now it's Carter Gordon. Bouni Valu, a lot of height on that ball. Great take by Bouni Valu, and the speculative offload, the kind of offload you'd expect from a Fijian-born winger.
Wonderful skill set again to take that ball above his head.
Just wondering if the flight trajectory had been a little bit lower here from Carter Gordon. It was in the air a long time.
It's just a bit all or nothing. I mean, you're in opposition red zone, hold on to ball, try and eke out a penalty. The kick option's always the last option.
Maivaka, Walkie, Dupont. I reckon if Walkie was at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, he'd win a medal in pretty much anything.
9.
Javelin, discus, 400, 800 metres. Pole vault, high jump. He's a great athlete. As is Sekou Makalu, as we saw last week in Nantes when he ran in from 40 metres, intercepting a ball from the line out. Cooper's line out. Take again. Valentini. Haven't seen too much. Valentini, the Australians on an advantage here. Here's Skelton. That's good work. Finding Bell with the back of the hand offload. Tupou. McDermott. Yet again, it's the blind side.
Back we come. It wasn't you. Offside. Aujourd'hui, Sadaline.
Mathieu Jalibert caught again by the pump off the top of the line out. Checking that French defensive line.
10 au jeu, Daline.
Another simplistic error to give away that Sean Edwards will not like.
Australia, they begin their own World Cup journey back in this stadium on the 9th of September.
Front pod's yours here.
Against Georgia, then it's Fiji and Wales back-to-back in Saint-Étienne and Lyon before finishing their pool against Portugal. Again in Saint-Étienne, who were beaten by the Australian A side last night. Just a few miles from this stadium, a bit further north. Reki, and it's that athlete I was talking about. Cameron Walkie gets his hand in there. Last week it was Dylan Cretin. He did a lot of damage to the Fiji line out. They've wasted a few opportunities inside the French 22 of Australia, lineouts in particular.
Go steady.
Dupont, low, flat, and out of play. Another thing I noticed today in the papers, Johnny, you live in France, fluent French speakers, we see Cameron Walkie steal. The French government are paying 200 million euros to destroy 80 million gallons of wine because the French don't drink enough of it anymore. And they've done it again, Olivon. Oh, Sebastian Toife-Fanua. Well,
make sure there's a...
off goes Dupont. He's got to go 10 here, and he's got Jalibert in support. Look at the pace of Jalibert. Gabin Villiers maybe should have left that ball for Dupont. The counter ruck is good, but it's a penalty. Off their feet, Australia. Death, taxes, and Australian yellow cards.
Clear line break, killed potential attack.
Vunivalu Balu's gone.
There was a case for coming back and looking at the initial tackle too. If he thought it was a shoulder charge by Tupou.
Post called.
But it's Vunivalu that's punished. One of Australia's best players as well. Antoine Dupont with the initiative. Mathieu Jalibert, what he brings is just pace. He's such an athlete. Villiers with the pick and go to try and keep the game alive, but he's got such a burst of acceleration. You can see the effort to get back to his feet. It doesn't look good. He's actually chucked to the ground by his players coming in to counteract behind him as well. Makes him look worse than it actually is.
Remarkably, Ramos missed the last effort from a pretty straightforward position for him, but returns to the usual quality. Marchand and Antonio being replaced. Keep them fresh for the challenge of New Zealand.
Just go careful.
Carter Gordon's restart. This French crowd sell out in the Stade de France. They want to see a couple of tries. They don't want to see too many errors, but the ball goes backwards. Dupont, interesting little kick to Gabin Villiers. He saw Villiers in space, and there's space where this ball's going to land. It's going to bounce for Kellaway, who does well for the goalkeeper's slide into the space. And the Australians are going to claim the ball here. Goes to Bell.
Australia, use it.
And we talked earlier in the game about Antoine Dupont, his ability to kick off both feet, but there, the crossfield kick in his own 22, off his weaker foot, the left. Incredible stuff. Wonderful take by Kellaway as well, coming across at speed.
Navaka scored a try while standing on the wing against Fiji. He was the man who created the overlap on the left-hand touchline, and
down by France.
Gregory Aldrit runs through and over Fraser McWright, bit like Beecher's Brook, and away goes Dante with a classic carry. Dupont, Jalibert, Villiers on his shoulder. Here's Fickou, Gaël Fickou. What a run! Was he tackled? Was he held? Play goes on. French must score surely. Dupont to Penaud. French panache in Paris as Penaud scores his 20th try for France.
And they've clicked into gear. Smiles are back on their faces. Hard carry by Aldrit that does the initial damage, breaks two tackles over the gain line. The secondary by Dante again, sit down over the gain line. And after that, the gates are open. Mathieu Jalibert, hands free, the offload. Perfectly weighted to Gaël Fickou. And Antoine Dupont, crossfield off the left, moments ago, off the right to Penaud.
Dupont, as usual, gets the geometry and the pace of the flight absolutely right. He is a little genius. And Penaud, he's chasing Serge Blanco's record, 38 tries in 93 internationals, but Penaud's got a much, much higher try per game return rate. Probably still wondering how he missed the one in front of the post.
Wait. Did that hit you yet? Yeah. I can't hear anybody.
Parfait, monsieur. He's 5th on the all-time list, is Penaud. Players ahead of him like Philippe Sella, Blanco I mentioned. Philippe Saint-André. Good take by the La Rochelle number 8, Gregory Aldrit. Tau Fifanua walking, lovely hands. Donty for Ficou. Glorious French rugby. Here's Callaway. Only one man back, and it's Mathieu Jalibert.
17, stop!
Gordon. Banana kick from him. But from outside the 22. Was it? Or was it not? Christophe Ridley, he can't make his mind up. He was setting off back to the point where Carter kicked it. Carter Gordon, that is. Is he inside?
He's inside.
Foot's inside. Referee's happy. Officials are happy. Close, mind you.
Change. Replacement.
There's a change coming. I think it's Boudehon. And Antoine Dupont goes off. Listen to the crowd now. The Grand Master. Charles Olimond and Baptiste Couilloux is on. Scored a try in the opening warm-up game against Scotland in Murrayfield. Jalibert, Dante's hands. Ficou, acres of space for Ramos. Oh, Penaud was on his outside, and suddenly vast areas of Parisian turf are opening up here.
France powering now. Australia all over the place defensively, down a man in the backfield, but still spot blitzing by themselves, coming out of line, making it way too easy for France.
Charles.
2-on-1 there.
No Vuni Vunivalu, of course, yellow carded. Here's Valentini. Bit of bump and grind from him, as always. Here's Bell. Averages 6.5 defenders beating the match for a loose head. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Had to double check it. McDermott. Skelton. McDermott, they love that blind side. No matter how narrow the channel is, Australia. Fraser McWright. It's all a bit tight in there. Nwangini, Tanawasi, and Carter Gordon looks for support and gets it. Good ball, really quick ball for McDermott. Fraser McWright comes steaming onto the ball, and one of the Wallaby whiz kids goes in under the posts and gives Australia some sort of a chance in this game.
No problem.
The contest, the take in there, superb. The ball comes backward, that creates the turnover ball, fragmented play. And as you mentioned, the joy at that short side has been their only real win of the day.
Thanks, man. Oh,
Bit of ball in hand, the line, the pace onto the ball by the young back rower as well. A beautiful burst. Something to sing about as well. They've been quiet for the best part of 25 minutes.
Yeah, 2 tries and player of the match against South Africa last August for Eddie Jones, open side, Fraser McWright. Former Australian under-20 captain gets the Wallabies' second try of the game. So 2 converted scores is the margin. Ramos
inside,
looking
50-22
to pitch it perfectly, and he does. As Australia bring on more replacements, that's Rob Leota, and Vini Valu is back on the field, but in his absence, France have scored a try through Penaud. Mind you, Australia scored 2. Yato Mavaka scored 5 tries, just 3 games a couple of Novembers ago. And here's Walkie, such a sensational line out forward, and off goes Jonathan Danty once more. Jalibert for Gabia, Villiers, perfect for Villiers, and the man they call the electric matchstick scores again for France. Brilliant from the firecracker on this French left wing, Gabia, Villiers.
Thank you.
Absolutely hissing. Again, it's Danty challenging that gain line. The quick ball around the corner. And Mathieu Jalibert, 3-on-3, numbers on, but opts to go. Execution absolutely perfect on the small crossfield kick. The take by Gavin Villiers. Absolutely class. Australia punished again.
Well, it's a good way to respond, just off the back, almost immediately off the back of the Fraser McWright try, to get one of such quality too. Yeah, and we've seen a few glorious cross kicks in this game. Dupont and now Jalibert.
Not an easy skill to execute either, given the pressure, the fact that you're on the run. Hand catch good, the coordination to then drop it on the toe and find space.
Second miss of the night from Thomas Ramos, but doesn't look like it's going to cost France too much on this occasion as Gregory Aldrit retires to the bench, 31-12. And the judgment again, the weight, the quality of Jalibert equal to the quality of the Dupont kick that put Penaud in the other corner. So 2 cross kicks, different corners, different wingers, 2 tries. And they're playing little circus tricks now, are the French, and Penaud for Fickou to chase. Callaway's back. Oh, he's in trouble here. Fickou's caught him. Australian side did really well to get in behind their stricken fullback. Fickou's gone down. Initial impression is that he might be winded. Again, France hopes that's the case. Their defensive leader.
Yeah.
Don't think he was that keen on tackling as a teenager at Toulouse, but maybe Sean Edwards helped him along his way.
Now one of the best in the world. And let's hope it is just a winding. France now really confident in themselves, running out from their third, getting real joy with that extra pass on the defensive edge, causing Australia all sorts of issues.
Yeah, so what is that about the French government having to destroy 80 million gallons of wine? Because you're a Frenchman virtually, aren't you? Scottish Frenchman. Because the French don't drink wine anymore. That's like the Irish stopping eating potatoes.
Hey, look, I have my French passport. I try my best to get through as much red as I can.
You're doing your bit,
for the country, absolutely.
I'm glad somebody is. Apparently they've reverted now to craft beers. That's the problem. Yeah, oh, that's what I read. French newspaper this morning. Look into the World Cup. 5 of the knockout games will be held in this stadium. Look at that. 2.8 points per visit for France to the 22 and just 2 minutes 29 in the 22. And the 5 minutes of Australia, again, just backs up what we were saying, that they've wasted those opportunities, failing to secure their own line-outs.
Backwards play.
And Ramos keeps the ball in play. Jalibert's had an exceptional second half in particular. Finds Aldeguiri. Miyavaki, Olivo. Woki. Villiers outside him to the left. Woki kept his eyes maybe slightly blinkered in fashion, straight ahead. Little check on his left shoulder might have been useful. Toififanua, Australia in on
Thanks,
the ball.
Seven, good choice.
Room it right, but no turnover. Ramos, Jalibert. He's knocked it on.
Advantage for a knock.
Clever little kick though.
Australia advantage, knock on.
Any kicks like that bounce inside the 22 are such a nightmare for defenders. Fine touch, McDermott. So Ramos gets another go. Again, Villiers on the outside. Venivulu with the tackle. Toififanua. There's QU. Jalibert, it's going to work its way through to Gil Fiku. Looks like he's recovered well. Yeah, they've won the turnover this time. Taking the steam out of that French series of attacks, and Fraser McWright, who comes up looking pretty pleased with himself.
Doesn't he have to catch it every touch of that side?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you after.
There's a man who won't miss Jonathan Dante for Caddy.
I think you might be right, but it's one of those.
Australia. A few nightmares ahead, I think.
Don't worry about it now, boys.
Let's watch a bit of right
Yeah,
here.
beaucoup de change.
And so fast. So Valentini goes off. Lanky Gleeson comes on. Debut for Matt Faisler.
How many lads?
Ramos is relieved of duty. Also on is Zain Nongor.
Time on.
Fraser McWright, he's through the hole. Where's the support? There it is on his outside through Hooper. Oh, and Angus Bell he's knocked it on.
Advantage France en avant.
Blue shirts lining up. Jalibert full of confidence now. Really Stamia Peno getting the switch from Melvin Jaminet. Peno. Well, it would have been good if it had worked. Trying to find his fellow winger, Gabien Villiers. But they're weaving tapestries now, the French. Or attempting to.
There is nothing worse than being away from home in France and playing into a side that has their tails up. They want to play from everywhere and they're in confidence. You can just tell now.
Okay, temps, s'il vous plaît.
Caddy's back on the field. Hubert. Carter, Gordon, Vinivulu.
Backwards.
McDermott again just sniping around the edges, finds a bit of space in that French defence. McDermott misses out McWright, and there's a fumble. Shows Olivo. He's very, very quick if he can gather it. He can't. Boudehall was following up on his shoulder. We've seen Olivon score tries for France from long range before.
And he's very close to the record held by Olivier Magne. And Aaron Ordeke as well. The try-scoring record for a forward. Australia just so disjointed. The launch play was half decent, challenging that gain line again, getting a little bit of joy. But just the quality of ball presentation, simple stuff again, letting them down, slowing ball down, forcing them to go back against the grain. That hasn't been their afternoon at all.
Olivon needs one try to equal Olivier Magne.
First scrum for a while, guys.
Did you notice how awestruck I was in the press room earlier when I met Olivier Magne? Because he's one of my heroes. Did you notice that?
He's one of mine too.
I was pouring sweat. I went bright red. Olivier, so nice to meet you. Oh, what a player.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
McDermott, Vunivalu's on the right-hand side, but he goes to Carter Gordon. And here's Forchetti, who had been replaced, but returning to the field. Carter Gordon. He's going to get caught there, and ball is wrestled free. And I think Australia in the World Cup are going to struggle. He's their only man at 10.
Look, they're going to have to up their game. Either way, you've got tests against Georgia, Fiji, Wales and Portugal, but
Australia, yeah.
You're now, 70 minutes into a test match, you're in second phase ball coming around the corner, and they look lost. They don't look settled. He's forced to take on the gain line himself, push and offload. Just doesn't seem like they're cohesive in what they're trying to do. Barely fired any shots in this test match with a decent chunk of possession as well.
Blake Shoop is on for his debut. His brother Aaron plays NRL for the Gold Coast Titans, bit of an enforcer in NRL. The Shoops from Wollongong, where I once watched Dimitri Yatsvili kill a seagull with a box kick in a World Cup match against the USA. Flock of seagulls spent the whole match following the ball, and then one sadly met its demise.
Fine.
Only itself to blame, I thought at the time.
Set. Okay, France.
Kuyu, the Wallabies saw some success at scrum time in the first half. Now off goes Kuyu, takes on Carter Gordon. Beautiful dummy. Damien Penaud. And back goes Leota. Was Penaud hampered? Maybe slightly, maybe not enough.
Great hustle by Leota. Kuyu continuing to probe, ask questions, test this Australian defensive line. Again, shooting out of line. They were 2-on-2.
Jaminet. That's Ben Donaldson, who missed a kick to beat Italy on his debut in Italy last November. Great Italian victory that was. Wasn't long after they'd beaten Wales for their first Six Nations win in 36 games. Here's Carter Gordon.
5 mètres, jeu.
Straight to Jaminet. But the Wallabies have it back. Now it's the man on debut, Blake Shoop. McWright, good hands. Matt Phillip, and he's lost that forward. Here's Dante. Guess what the French might do now? Have a crack at this Wallaby defence. And Jalibert looked exceptional with ball in hand since the break. It's Kuyu to Fiku, just one man on the right-hand side, which is Penaud, and just one man to beat. Ahead of him, is it going to bounce for Damien Penaud? What a World Cup booster this performance has been for France, with the World Cup now just around the corner.
Turnover ball again for France. Fiku looks the width. Australia again defensively appalling on the edge. Damien Penaud. The kick, the chip, the chase. the pace to finish.
Thanks, man.
The French fans are on their feet again. Lovely piece of rugby by the Frenchman.
Well, he's just one of those men who loves being a superstar. Tell me if I know.
Merci.
Celebrations and a rather flummoxed-looking Australian side. As Johnny said, their defence has been horribly exposed, as it was so often in previous warm-up games under Eddie Jones. Brett Hodgson, the defence coach, and Melvin Jaminet, who was player of the match in Nantes with 7 from 8 and 19 points. Yeah, good stuff, and it keeps up the French record of scoring well over 30 points in their last 8 home matches now. That's the average. Pretty tight at half-time, but the French have robbed away in this second half. They've shown their weaponry, their artillery, full range of skills. Couillou looking sharp since he came on for Dupont. And it seems at the moment that they've picked up no injuries of any consequence. The same hopefully can be said for Australia. Matt Phillip. Here's Forchetti. Carter Gordon. And Vunivalu chases. Jaminet is underneath it.
Advantage.
Fraser McWright, who's pretty quick. He gets some support from Pataya. And now it's Faisler. Placement. Hooker.
Advantage over for the knock.
Shoop. Now Marciez rings around the Stade de France yet again, and why shouldn't it? With a thumping success against the 2 times World Cup winners, World Cup finalists to Australia. Finds Lelewa. Sa is on as well at scrum half, number 22 for his debut. Oh, and well, the French getting oh so confused under the high ball, and Vunivalu touches down. He certainly deserves a try. He's played really well when he's been on the field. Yes, there was the yellow card.
Check if he's onside, please, first of all.
Yes, Luke. Okay, we're going to check with his onside. We think he is. We're going to show you the best angle now.
Oui, exactement.
Got to check for onside first.
I think he's off. Okay.
Is he offside?
So not clearly offside there, Tom?
No clear and obvious offside.
So we now just go to the just little nudge, make sure that's legal, please. They're allowed shoulder to shoulder, remember, because they're going for the ball.
It did look as if France didn't really contest the high ball, because it made it look so straightforward.
Okay, just getting the best angle for you now, Luke. Okay.
Sidiasi Vunivalu, former rugby league player. It's Jaminet.
Shoulder to shoulder there.
There's nothing clear and obvious
no
there, Luke, in the grounding.
No problem at all. It's a misjudgment. And Vunivalu takes advantage of it.
Shoulder to shoulder, it's okay. He's allowed. Yeah.
Little late lift to the Wallaby morale. They'll need some after this coruscating defeat. Carter Gordon misses yet again. And they've got to sort out their goal kicking, or they're not going to go very far in this World Cup. Wales and Fiji will fancy Australia. Fiji, remember, beating England for the first time in their history yesterday, and beating them at Twickenham as well, and convincingly. Steve Borthwick, the England coach, under all sorts of pressure. England seeming to think that blunt force trauma through the middle of the field will be enough to do well in the World Cup. Well, they might do in the half of the draw they have, but if they'd been in the other half of the draw, England might have been able to take hand luggage to France. because they have looked very, very poor, and Australia haven't looked great either, apart from the early stages in Dunedin when they ran down and took a good lead against New Zealand before they punched back and won. So 5 defeats in a row will shortly be Eddie Jones' record.
Give it a
As
sec,
mentioned earlier, the knockout games, 5 of them will be held here in Paris. 2 quarterfinals are in Marseille. The bronze medal match is also in the Stade de France. Final October the 28th. Olivon gets his hands on it, and Hooper collects. Here's McWright. He's pretty sprightly in this game, Fraser McWright, and Hooper's been excellent in the line-out. Here's Bataya.
Just a knock by France.
Collected by Nwangi.
Advantage Australia for knock on.
Rob Leota, good charge by him.
Advantage
goes
over.
Straight through Taifepanua. Fraser McWright and hammers into Gleeson, the French defence. Nwangi Niatawasi collects. And there's space closed down by Boudouron.
Okay, no. Yes.
Howls of celebration from the French side of winning that penalty.
I felt the tackle was always on here on you, so not on your head or neck.
To the referee.
Number 19 took the blue player past the ruck.
Advances.
Post.
Oh, we've gone for the post. What? Hang on a minute.
Sure, so problem on there, 2 minutes on the match.
Well, yeah, no injuries. Come on, guys. We're just playing sensibly. New Zealand is what it's all about. So why play for a try when somebody could pull a hamstring? Is that the thinking? You never quite tell with the French. Different race. Beautiful race. Romantic, poetic. So Jaminet, and this will be the final kick of the game. Can it take France past 40 points? That'll be a real whooping for the Wallabies. From 50.5 metres, what a crack! Oh, belted, thumped, a cannon from Jaminet. Well, what a performance, especially in the second half from France. It's the perfect display to ease them into their home World Cup against the 3 times champions, the All Blacks, back in this stadium, and you thought it was hot and pumping today. Wait till you see it and hear it on the 8th of September. Jonathan Dante announced as the player of the match. What a game he had. There he is, carrying strong and hard, scored a try, turned over the ball. Final score here in Paris. The World Cup is next. France 41, Australia 17.